And we're live. Welcome to the Lakers Outsiders. I am LeBron's number one fan, apparently. I am Anthony Irwin. I am joined by Harrison Fagan. Harrison, would you like to handle the public apology on my behalf, or should I just go ahead and apologize to the basketball gods for my terrible blasphemy?
All of us at Lakers Outsiders would like to apologize to you for Anthony, mainly just not even attributing which one of us it was throwing out these LeBron Kobe hot takes, without discussing the validity of them. But yeah, I mean, we're very sorry.
That's
We've all called Anthony some names I won't repeat, but it was not appreciated by the other four Lakers Outsiders.
That's quite the overlook when you just kind of just gloss over the fact that without talking about the validity, that seems important.
It's the internet.
All right, I guess we'll just pick up right where Twitter left off. Basically, Ryan Ward, Lakers Examiner of LakersNation.com, great guy. Eventually, I'd like to get him on the show. Brought up, all right, who out there in the NBA right now could you not accept? This comes on the heel of Paul Pierce saying that he could not ever play for the Lakers because of the history.
Mainly
really
because he's banned from the building. But
that helps. That helps. And the Lakers don't have enough wheelchairs. That doesn't, that hurts.
It's true. Maybe at the new practice facility they'll get enough ramps, but this current one just can't fit him.
Exactly. I mean, I heard the Clippers had to overhaul their facility to make room for Paul Pierce and his fleet of wheelchairs. But so his question again was who could you never accept as a Laker, because of prior history. And Dwight Howard's name was thrown out there for obvious reasons. He's a prick and he's the father of the year. And there was also like Smush Parker, which was pretty damn hilarious. That's a really good one.
Mainly because he's not an NBA player anymore, but sure, other reasons too.
So, with all that going on, LeBron's name came up and was one of the original names that was brought up, next to KG and all those guys. And I tweeted from our account, without citing who was actually speaking, though usually people should know for the most part. I send out the tweets on random days where their games aren't going on. LeBron shouldn't be in that list. He's way too good of a player for the Lakers and their fans to be like, we don't need the guy, right? Can we at least start there? Is that a fair place to start?
I 100% agree with that. I don't know who these people are that would not want LeBron in a Lakers jersey, but I can almost guarantee you that they're lying and would buy his jersey if he were to come to LA and start talking about the team as instant championship contender. I don't know. I don't. What has he done that people would not want him to be a Laker? Is completely baffling to me. That mindset.
I mean,
if you're other than people who are not fans of the Lakers, why would you not want him to be a Laker?
And that brings me to the hot take that I sent across the interwebs and the tweeters and all that stuff, that I think LeBron's greatest crime is making a legitimate case that he is better right now or in his prime than Kobe ever was. And obviously in 140 characters, and I didn't use anywhere near 140 characters when I actually said it.
I think your direct quote was just Kobe sucks, K thanks, bye.
I'd like to look that up and verify that direct quote. I don't believe that's what I actually said. Kobe, you do not suck, and I don't think I've ever used the sentence K thanks, bye in my life. So, no, that seems to be the only thing, right? Like Lakers fans take Kobe's career so personally that like right now, the number one reason Lakers fans are cheering against the San Antonio Spurs is Tim Duncan versus Kobe Bryant, right?
Yep.
And here we have this going on now with LeBron, and again, talk about like I saw arrogance cited as a reason not to like LeBron. Um. Uh.
Yeah,
Kobe's.
it seems like there's a guy that's been playing for the Lakers for a long time, and I don't want to name names, but that's fans kind of hold his arrogance up almost as a strong suit.
And I just think I
A
also
guy who
think
might like do something like this when you know, responding to a fan that was trash talking him.
yeah, and honestly, like in my opinion, humility is completely overrated in sports. I don't think you get to be as good as these guys at the upper elite echelon of sports athleticism get to that point by being humble, right? Like
Who
I think
doesn't
that's
love a
fair.
crazy guy?
What's that?
Who doesn't love a crazy guy?
Well, not
Like,
even not even crazy, but like I can't imagine Michael Jordan going out. We saw Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame speech, and people held that up as like machismo and rar, like,
yeah.
and
It was basically 12 minutes of him telling all the people that had ever overlooked him to suck it.
basically, right? Like he basically he went up there and in his not as many words told everybody, asked everybody to quote Shaquille O'Neal, "Tell me how my ass tastes," and uh, people loved him for it. People continue to love Michael Jordan for that machismo, and same thing with Kobe, where this entire last 4 or 5 years where he hasn't had any filter whatsoever. People love that he doesn't have that filter. People love that he's not planned. Now, I did see one person in the mentions call LeBron a PR firm, and he is extremely planned.
That was the one thing that I was going to say is like I think his arrogance has been in years past. This year he was very like kind of arrogant on the court, you could say, very confident in himself. Like a lot of his quotes that he was giving, like, "Well, I'm the best player in the world, so of course I think no, we're never the underdog," stuff like that. But in years past, I think it was the type of arrogance almost to think that it seemed like he thought he would be like he was great at everything. It wasn't just basketball. All the talking about like, oh, I'm a businessman and all this stuff before he had won anything. While that's kind of true, I think that a lot of people don't necessarily want to acknowledge it, and so like you take flack if you start talking about it.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, but again, that those three words, while it's true, is an important disclaimer. You know, he's really
Hey,
effing
there are a
good
lot
at
of people that don't care about the truth.
yeah,
Shout
I
out to
don't care.
Ashley Madison hackers.
I don't really care about Paul Pierce either, but I just with LeBron, it's a lot of what he claimed or he promised when he entered the NBA has come true. Now he hasn't brought a title to Cleveland, and I legitimately wonder if he ever can. The teams in the West are too strong, I think, at this point for LeBron to actually bring a title back home to Cleveland. That's not me calling him a trash player. I'm not going to go that far at all. Just like me calling or saying that I'd rather have LeBron right now in his prime over Kobe back, a few years ago in his prime, isn't me calling Kobe a trash player. It's possible. Harrison, call me crazy, but they both might actually be really effing good at basketball. What are your thoughts on that hot take?
I mean, I think that that's possible. I don't know if we have any statistics to confirm that, but I think that they both are probably pretty good at basketball.
Now, I know before we came on, you were looking up stats, for both players. Do you still have those pulled up?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's go through. I'll give you the stage, and you go ahead and read through the stats between the two players.
Okay.
This is fun. This is great radio. We're just going to read numbers, guys. Hang in there.
Oh, do you want me? I thought that you were going to ask me who's better on each one. That's you just want me to read them.
Well, I don't know which numbers you actually have pulled up.
Okay, so I have Basketball References page pulled up. LeBron, if you want to look at per game, LeBron averages more points, less fouls, slightly more turnovers, so Kobe does have him beat there, slightly more blocks, slightly more steals, about 2 more assists, about 2 more rebounds. His effective field goal percentage is 5% higher. He's a slightly better three-point shooter. He has about a 4% higher like regular field goal percentage. There's just Kobe doesn't really have him beaten anything per game, and pretty much the same holds true for it's a little closer per 36 minutes, but pretty much the same thing holds true.
I mean, it would make sense that that would hold true, seeing as those guys have both played roughly the same number of minutes per game, right? So, like when you
Yeah, but per
actually
game, LeBron has averaged 3 more minutes per game for his career.
okay, all right, well, that's bordering on negligible. I
Yeah,
think.
it's pretty close.
Yeah.
He's
So
averaged 39 minutes a game his career. That's crazy.
yeah, that's nuts. He's a cyborg. And
Yeah.
again, like I contend, as I originally tweeted, that LeBron's greatest crime against Lakers and their fans are being so damn good, right? Or is being so
Yeah.
damn good. And in my opinion, that is not a heinous enough crime to say, nope, we could never welcome you to the Lakers. In any, if we're actually talking about basketball reasons, shout out to David Stern, may you rot in dirty basketball hell. If we're citing
The
basketball
Lakers
reasons,
outsiders also do not endorse Anthony threatening David Stern.
man, I'm gonna need I'm gonna have to hire a little PR firm guy just like walk by me and make sure I don't say stupid things all the time. But like with when you're talking about building up a team and when you're talking about acquiring assets, somebody being really really good is kind of the reason you bring them onto your team. Like that's just.
I mean, one would hope.
You would think, you would think. So just to recap,
I love that some of these people are probably the same ones that would have wanted the Lakers to trade for Ty Lawson.
What's that?
I love that some of these people are probably the same ones that would have, they think LeBron's too arrogant and they wouldn't want him on the team, but would have been really excited if the Lakers had traded for Ty Lawson with everything he's going through right now.
Yeah, LeBron's heinous crime is being really good at basketball. Ty Lawson's heinous crime is, driving irresponsibly.
Thinking it's cool to drive while drinking.
Yeah, exactly. But who am I to judge? I'm sitting here drinking a GNT as we speak. I'm not driving.
You are not driving. At least I don't think so.
I live in a mobile home and I'm driving while hosting a podcast and drinking a gin and tonic.
That's versatility right there.
But if it starts raining here in Southern California, we all suck at driving. But and yeah, it's just I'd welcome either player if I was starting any team across the NBA. LeBron has had a historically great career, as has Kobe. The rings argument, you lose me there to a certain extent because LeBron has spent more than half his career in the shitty city of Cleveland, Ohio. Kobe, conversely, has spent all of his career playing for probably the greatest franchise America has to offer. I'd say that's probably fair.
We're biased, but I'd say it's fair.
Right. Yankees fans out there now hate me too. Cool. But and if you're
anyway,
yeah, if you're gonna eliminate all the variables and you're gonna talk about each guy as a player, give me the 6'9" guy who can dribble, shoot, and do all kinds of crazy cyborgy things all over a basketball court over Kobe, who is a replication of Michael Jordan, and that's a compliment. I'm gonna get shot down for that too. But that's I just can't see somebody picking prime LeBron over prime Kobe and being wrong. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, as much as it hurts, like, the 19-year-old me that was a Kobe obsessive to say that, like, I think that's been shown, and I saw a lot of people in our mentions arguing with you. They were citing the playoffs and all of this stuff. And the thing about the playoffs is you have to have a good team around you. And so, while like maybe having a better supporting cast has hurt Kobe's individual numbers a little bit because he had other people to do that stuff, LeBron's numbers are still better in the playoffs.
Right. And even
while playing with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade in Miami for a couple years.
We just watched an NBA Finals in which LeBron just took a borderline playoff team. I'm not even sure that actual Cleveland team that LeBron had makes the playoffs if they played an entire season that way. He took that team and had Golden State Warriors fans legitimately worried, as the Golden State Warriors were completely healthy and were coming off a historic NBA regular season, right? I just can't picture Kobe ever doing that. I just can't see it. And again,
Yeah.
that's
LeBron's pretty good at basketball.
yeah. And when unfortunately, in today's social media and in the way we talk about sports, anytime you prop somebody else up, you are now, by extension, disparaging somebody else. And we, at some point, I hope we can get away from that. I hope. But, don't hold your breath. We're going to move on. We're going to move on and talk about somebody else disparaging another team. Shaq was typical Shaq on social media today on the Instagrams, and basically said that the all-time Lakers team would beat the all-time Chicago Bulls team by 50, as in 50 Cent. What are your thoughts on just the take itself?
I don't think that's that crazy because the Bulls haven't had, that many great players outside of those MJ teams, and then I guess Derrick Rose now, which is I think pretty much what Pippen posted was like the 72-win Bulls team plus Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think it is kind of crazy. 50 points is.
Oh wait, by 50. Sorry, I thought you were saying beat. I was not thinking of 50. No, 50 points is ludicrous.
Yeah. All right.
I'm sorry. Like you could put the Lakers outsiders, like just pick any four of us with MJ, and he would not lose to an NBA team by 50 points.
Man, I say this
okay,
as a
he
round
probably
person.
would, but like it wouldn't be more than 50.
but no, I the 50-point thing is a stretch, but I don't.
MJ and other NBA players losing by 50 points. That's crazy.
That's perfectly fine. That we are not very good at this hot takey thing. Although I guess a lot of people would contend I did pretty well tonight. I don't think there's any NBA franchise who would go to 6 games in a series against the all-time Lakers. I honestly feel that way, and I actually spent time thinking about it.
You don't think they could win 2 games?
No.
I think basketball's so
Well, go ahead.
I think it's possible, for sure. The Lakers have had some pretty great players over the years. I don't know. That's tough.
Well, like if we all right, so let's take 5-10 minutes now and put together, all right, give me your all-time starting 5. Shaq's was Magic, Kobe, Elgin Baylor, Kareem, and Shaq. I would just switch out. I'd swap out Worthy for Baylor.
Yeah, and then you got to swap out Jerry West for Magic too, but.
All right, guys, that does our show today.
No, I think that sounds about right to me. I'm trying to think. It was Kareem, Shaq, Kobe, Worthy, and Magic. You're saying. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of if there's anybody else I would rather have playing that small forward spot, but I think that's about right.
Big Game James was NBA Finals MVP and had a triple-double in a deciding Game 7, so I'd say he did pretty well.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
And then, coming off the bench, you have guys like Lamar Odom, one of the greatest bench players that the game has ever seen. Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled front court players ever. That Wilt Chamberlain guy who was all right back in his day. The aforementioned
you got Wilt coming off the bench. Oh man.
The aforementioned Elgin Baylor, who we talked about, and then that Jerry West can be like the 10th.
So if we're building a 10-man I thought you were talking about just starting 5s. If you're building a 10-man rotation, I don't know that they would go, because the other team's benches would start to get dicey. A lot of them would start to get really, really dicey.
Right, and that's the point I'm
making. Starting Wilt Chamberlain or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, second best center in your franchise, Chice's history versus Wilt Chamberlain. Go. I think I
David
think the
Robinson,
Magic would
maybe.
maybe have a chance there between Dwight and Shaq, but
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't know that there's another team really.
right. And or like if we aren't counting Duncan and Robinson in the same front court, but I don't think they have like
They'd
a
be
third
starting
center.
though for the Spurs.
What's that?
They'd be starting for the Spurs.
I know that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If those two aren't starting, like one of those two aren't coming off the bench. Um,
No, no chance. They'd be starting together.
Miami with maybe Shaq and Alonzo Mourning. You know,
You really think Alonzo Mourning is coming in and stopping like Wilt? I don't know about that.
I'm saying maybe. I'm saying
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe,
I'm
maybe.
trying to be as unbiased as I possibly can be, but that 10-man rotation that the Lakers have to offer is pretty effing good. You know, but I'm being asked why is this a hot? How is this a hot topic? Well,
It's okay. He hasn't been checking Twitter. That's fine.
that's a good point.
Um,
That's a good point. So no, I mean, yeah, I stand by my premise that the Lakers 10-man rotation all time would beat any other 10-man rotation in the 7-game series in 5 games at most. Most teams they sweep. The vast majority of teams they sweep. Now,
sorry, Charlotte Hornets. You lose in 3.
the fun part here took place when Scottie Pippen retorted, right? When
Yeah.
Scottie, and he did the and hey, Lakers fans, as frustrated as you got today when Scottie Pippen came back with count the rings, this is what everybody else deals with. This is why nobody wants to have conversations with you about basketball because of that exact argument. So enjoy that, guys. But yeah, the we got 6, you guys got 3 together argument was what Scotty went with. To which
Yeah, I think
any
Scotty was kind of arguing against the straw man a little bit because Shaq wasn't arguing that his Lakers teams would beat Scotty's teams by 50. He was arguing that, like, all-time franchise history players.
I mean, maybe Scotty didn't get that vibe when Magic effing Johnson and Elgin fucking Baylor were in the
Maybe
starting.
Scotty didn't watch a lot of NBA when Shaq was playing. Maybe he thought Magic was still on that team. He played against them, but maybe he didn't read his scouting report. I don't know.
Guys,
It's like, man, that Derek Fisher guy looks a lot like Magic Johnson, I think.
looks like Magic shrunk like 9 inches and became left-handed.
Whatever. Just gotta play.
No, yeah, so the count the rings argument was frustrating in and of itself, and then Shaq with the all-time comeback that shut Scottie Pippen up pretty damn quickly was taking a picture of a Motorola Sidekick with Scottie Pippen as the screenshot and called him, Batman only or something like that. You're the second greatest sidekick of all time, aside from this phone. That's a mic dropper right there.
Man,
That's
Shaq just dissed Kobe. He's saying he's the third best sidekick of all
well,
time.
Well, I mean, actually, that's not necessarily true because Kobe was Batman at least for a season. Scotty was never Batman.
Yeah,
Successful.
no, but Shaq, I think, is talking about the seasons when they won.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, it was a really fun day on Twitter. The offseason, as I said in the Google Plus preview, is in full effect. We had my mentions, we had Lakers Outsiders mentions, and we had all kinds of people talking about Kobe versus LeBron. The Summer League officially ended today. The Spurs took home that title. Congratulations to Becky Hammond. That's really cool. And we now have no basketball to look forward to until October.
I don't know if that's something to look forward to. You just ruined my night, but okay.
No, I'm not saying that's something to look forward to. I'm saying like this today perfectly sums up our next 2 months, where we're going to be talking about pretty much meaningless topics because there's nothing else to actually talk about in basketball.
Way to sell the podcast. Join us tomorrow when we talk about more meaningless crap.
Exactly. So I look forward to it. All right, Harrison. Well, thanks for intentionally ignoring me in our group DM. It's been awesome.
Okay, thanks, Anthony.
All right, talk to everybody soon.